was as simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's not even rocket surgery.
Okay,
right?
Hear me out for a second. Tomorrow morning, SpaceX is scheduled to launch a test flight for the most powerful rocket ever built, which made me think, even though Kenny Dillingham said coming up with his unique and creative game plan against UCLA wasn't rocket science, it actually might have been more similar than he thinks. I took a deeper look into outer space for this edition of CSL Sports Science.
9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
First, let's make this make just a little bit of sense by checking in with Minnesota Vikings quarterback Josh Dobbs, who's been dubbed the Pastronaut, thanks to his aerospace engineering degree he got at the University of Tennessee. Dobbs said football and rocket science are alike because both deal with the problem-solving and critical thinking skills to help solve the problems that teams are faced with. Dillingham knew the UCLA defensive line would cause problems for the ASU offense and Trenton Bourguet, who got banged up against Utah. So what did he do? He took them out of the equation and created something unconventional. Just like the time Apollo 13 astronauts had to use duct tape to make sure they had enough air to survive. It was weird, but it got the job done. Arizona State put 3 players under center against UCLA, and all of them had to know the mission plan in order to score touchdowns.
Main gear touchdown. Pilot Jim Dutton now deploying the drag shoe.
No, these types of touchdowns.
Scattered on the roll, sets his feet and delivers. Goal line end zone, Badger! Touchdown ASU!
Just look at Cameron Scatterboot, who has passed for, run for, and caught for a touchdown this season. His versatility would make for a great astronaut, and I think he would fit in just fine within the confines of a rocket ship. Kenny Dillingham didn't just put out random players in random places in Pasadena, even though it may have looked like it.
But like it's sound. Like it looks goofy and unique and different, but we didn't just go out there and run something that wasn't sound. It's just different.
Just like any key spaceflight, Kenny's plan was well tested and, as he said, was sound. He didn't just make some rocket like you do in your backyard. This one was state-of-the-art and was able to handle the gravity of the situation against a top 10 defense. Kenny didn't activate his launch abort system, and maybe he's just a little bit more of a rocket man than he may think.
At the end of the first half when the weather came in, and I know you were in the press box at the game, how can you best describe that experience?
Yeah, Riley, it was crazy what went down here last night. It was 5 seconds to go in the first half. Arizona State had a running play. They weren't able to get out of bounds, so they call a timeout. During that timeout, out of nowhere, this haboob, the sandstorm, this thunderstorm, whatever you want to call what happens in Arizona at this time of the year, popped us out of nowhere. The visibility went down exponentially, and then after that, Southern Utah called the timeout. So it was like 2 or 3 minutes in between plays, and this storm came out of nowhere. Arizona State was able to score on the final play of scrimmage of the half and get into the locker room before a 2-hour and 50-minute delay. But man, oh man, Riley, I've never seen anything like it at a college football game. I'm going to remember it for a long time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to remember that one for a long time, but let's get into the actual X's and O's of the game. I don't know if you heard, Ben, but it was Jaden Rashada's first start, and what did you think of his play last night?
Yeah, it was the birthday boy last night as well, turning 20 years old while making his college debut. But look, he made the mistakes that I think we could expect any freshman quarterback to make, making their college debut at the collegiate level. He missed some easy passes. He had some misreads. But the thing is, he also showed such an incredible confidence in the pocket. When Kenny Dillingham says, all right, we're going to go for it on 4th and 7, and he delivers a 47-yard strike for a touchdown, that is confidence. He's just a freshman. He showed off his high football IQ early in the first half and led the offense down the field to 3 scores in his first half as a Sun Devil. I mean, this guy really could be the quarterback of the future.
All right, thanks, Justin. Hope you're okay out there battling the elements. I didn't know it snowed in Flagstaff in September, but let's turn the calendar back for just a second to the hot weather. And while I was trying to spend my summer relaxing and working on my golf swing, the so-called off-season is when many athletes at Arizona State are at their very best. So let's take a moment to look back at the summer it was for the Sun Devils. All right, we got to start with this guy, the phenom. Leon Marchand won not one, not two, but 3 gold medals at the World Aquatic Championships in Japan, including a record-breaking performance in the 400-meter individual medley when he finished in 4 minutes, 2.50 seconds, breaking Michael Phelps' last remaining world record while Phelps was on the call of the event. Now, the well-documented Sun Devil supporter donned the medal on Marchand in what could be a true passing of the torch moment. And don't forget, folks, the Paris Olympics are right around the corner. The Summerhays family became one of the most notable families in golf when both Preston and Grace qualified for and played in the United States Open Championship at the Los Angeles Country Club and Pebble Beach Golf Links, respectively. Preston played in a practice round with the Masters champ and, oh yeah, ASU alum John Rahm, while the entire Summerhays family got to enjoy a practice round together before the U.S. Women's Open. Now, rumor has it that Grace and her dad Boyd tied brothers Preston and Cameron in the friendly competition. Now back to some more world championships. Senior Justin Robinson became just the 3rd Sun Devil to ever medal at the World Athletics Championships in Hungary. The St. Louis native, who holds the ASU program record in the 400-meter indoor event, was a member of both the men's 4x400-meter gold medaling team and the world record-setting 4x400 mixed relay team, who completed the event in 3 minutes and 8.8 seconds. And finally, we wrap things up with ASU soccer forward Gabby Rennie, who got the call up to play for the Ferns at the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in her home country of New Zealand. The senior was on the pitch as New Zealand captured their first win in World Cup history over Norway in the group stage and earned a 2nd World Cup appearance against Switzerland. Not too bad for a summer break. Jonah, the biggest thing for me is how Arizona State was able to utilize Cameron Scadaboo. We've seen it all season long. This guy's run the ball. He's passed the ball. He's caught the ball. He's even punted the football. But I want to take a look at 4 plays from the game against USC, starting with this one right here. We're going to see a 4th down. We're going to see Scadaboo under center. And almost every single time he's been under center so far this season, he's run the ball. But not this time. He moves towards the right side of the field. There's Elijah Badger. These 2 defenders don't know who's supposed to pick him up. He's just going to keep moving into some open space. Scadaboo with the defender in his face, able to throw just an absolute dime. They pick up the 1st down. Big to move the chains on 4th downs. ASU able to keep some momentum. And he said they can't eliminate all of the weapons. They can only hope to contain some of them. Oregon is on the outside looking in. They're number 6 in the college football playoff ranking. What is at stake for them and for ASU, who's playing their final Pac-12 opponent that won't join them in the Big 12 next year? Yes. It was quite the impressive effort to overcome an 11-point deficit with less than 3 minutes left last night, and the Sun Devils' 16 forced turnovers in the second half was a big help. We now welcome in men's basketball reporter Justin Lacertosa. And Justin, through just 3 games this season, the Sun Devils have clearly found their identity on the defensive end of the floor. What has ignited that spark into this Arizona State defense?
That's what it's about, new opportunity.
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change. Earlier this week, the Big 12 Conference unveiled their football schedules for the 2024 through 2027 seasons, and with it comes the end of many of the annual Pac-12 matchup that we've become accustomed to, but also the blank canvas of new rivalries and traditions that will surely be created in the future. Kenny Dillingham said earlier this week to remember that positions like coaches and athletic director are process-driven for those who have those jobs, but are results-driven hobbies for everybody else watching. Edwards left the athletic department in a better place than he found it almost 10 years ago, but now it's time for the next AD at Arizona State to bring the department into the next era of college sports. And that's the way it is. All right, let's get into some top plays. Number 3 is ASU soccer. They're taking on Utah State yesterday. Look at this sweet pass at the top of the 18. Ashley Lenhart's shot goes off the post, but Florence Valencourt, the freshman, is there to clean it up. Her first goal in a Sun Devil uniform. And number 1, we're going across the pond to the old course at St. Andrews. It's Preston Summerhays representing Team USA in the Walker Cup. Look at this birdie putt all the way around, gets it to drop as Team USA wins in a big comeback last Sunday. To some more ASU basketball. It's Frankie Collins going coast to coast. He goes up and under and gets it to go. The game-winning shot. Another day, another win for the Devils.